today.
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, next to Championship Plaza, on the big stage today. Woo! I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with pucksandpitchforks.com, Nick Villano, and you, the guy on social media.
Daniel Amoya from the Hockey Writers, beat reporter extraordinaire. Everybody out here, give Daniel Amoya a big round of applause for the great work he's been doing to cover our Devils this year. Daniel, first time on the podcast. You're on the big stage for a playoff game. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate you having me.
It's a huge game. A much bigger game after what happened on Friday. Before we get into Friday, everything that happened and the blown lead, the comeback in overtime, the double overtime game, I want you to just kind of tell us your feeling now. The Devils got to win. You're coming into Game 4. You can even the series. Like, what are you feeling right now as somebody who's been around this team all year?
I mean, look, obviously the odds are against them, but if you look at Carolina, they are not a good road team, and they're kind of starting to panic a little bit. I mean, you look at how they're talking. The Devils' physicality kind of got to them. The media's pressuring them. They're like, all right, you guys really need to step up in the physicality department. And I don't know if they're capable of doing that, and I feel like that might get Carolina away from their typical play style. So it's going to be very interesting to me to see how this game starts and if the Devils will have those legs or if it's a bit of a hangover effect from that Nemitz goal. But I don't see a reason why the Devils can't take it based on how they played the other night. I mean, they were buzzing all night. Keith told me after Game 1 we're probably not going to outshoot Carolina this series, and then they outshot them by 10.
So, they kind of dominated them last game.
Yeah, so I don't see a reason they can't. It's certainly not going to be easy, but the Devils have showed that they're able to rise to that moment for those big games. You look at all the Ranger games. The games they've struggled with are the games that they maybe didn't have as much of a reason to get up for. It's like the games at the end of the season, some of those dragging games in January, February. But like here, they've shown they could match that intensity, meet the moment, and I don't see why they can't.
For sure. So we have this moment in double overtime. Simon Nemec does everything he does really well. Makes a great pass, and then he uses his offensive hockey IQ to do just a little pivot step to the left, get into the open lane, and get a shot underneath the arm of Freddie Anderson, a guy they haven't been able to beat on really hard shots for most of the series. He gets one just in the right place at the right time. What is that as a momentum driver? Like, what does that do for this Devils team? A, just the double overtime win, but B, the guy. It's Simon Nemec, a guy who's struggled mightily, trade rumors, a guy that that everybody on the team is rooting for. What's it like to have that guy score the game-winning goal?
Yeah, exactly that, right? Hockey's a team sport, and when you have a guy who has arguably struggled more than anyone else this season come through in that sort of moment, it kind of wakes everyone up, and it's like, wow, like if he's doing it, we could step up too. And I think that's what we've seen. They may not have gotten the goals in terms of guys like Andre Palat, Dawson Mercer got one last game, Eric Halla, but they're all stepping up, they're all skating hard, and they really all look like they belong. And obviously depth scoring is such a key for the Devils. So to get that moment and then have all that momentum, and I mean, look at this place right now, like the momentum these fans are creating is the team clearly feeds off that. So it's just huge for them.
It was a wild game. Great. I mean, the fans are just going. Adding that extra hour to get some alcohol in at an 8 p.m. start on a Friday night helped the crowd quite a bit. And it was like, from start to finish it was just loud.
Yeah.
It got louder and louder and louder. And I think when Armstrong was interviewed by Rachel Bertha on NBC Networks at the end there, out on the ice, the place seemed kind of loud. Responding to Armstrong's plea to be loud for something.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that the one X factor that I'm looking at is the time, right? It's puck drops at 3:30 on a Sunday when you ended at, 11:30, 12, almost midnight on Friday. Luckily, unlike the regular season, both teams are dealing with that situation. How do you feel about energy level all around, from the fans, from the team? Like, how is that going to be impacted by this kind of scheduling quirk?
Well, before anything, I think the beer stick was the greatest promotion the Devils ever did. I mean, I saw people, I mean, I didn't witness it firsthand, but the lines supposedly were insane. And you could tell there was definitely alcohol in some of the fan systems. But yeah, I mean, I think Devils fans have shown that if they're in the playoffs, no matter what the time is, they could start at 2 a.m. and they're going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't really think scheduling is that much of an issue. As for the team, I think if it was an away game, it might have been a little different. You saw Easter Sunday was kind of a tough one to wake up for. But at the end of the day, both teams have to play at the same time. It's not like the Devils were the only ones playing to double overtime.
Yeah.
And with their home fans, I think that'll give them the leg. So that in combination with Carolina not really being a good road team, the writing's kind of on the wall for the Devils to even this thing up.
Do you think the Devils learned anything in that overtime period where they really only, I think they gave up 2 shots in the first overtime. I don't remember if they gave up any in the second. Do you think they learned anything about how to play that game, or is that just a different scenario because it's overtime?
Kind of both. I mean, I think it was more just circumstance. Like, they knew Kovacevic down playing with 5D. Like, we need to step up. There's no excuse. No one else is taking my role. Like, we all need to be that top guy. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. And then that's where veterans, a guy like Brian Dumoulin, really comes into play. Just super competitive in a playoff atmosphere where maybe a guy that kind of flies under the radar given he's a little older, 33 years old, but playoff time, he's here to play.
Yeah. So speaking of here to play, let's talk about the defense, because a lot of them aren't here to play. They're hurt. Luke Hughes and Brendan Dillon were ruled out yesterday, which is concerning. You got to look at the long-term impact of that. Johnny Kovacevic, I haven't seen an update, but I assume he's not playing today.
He's not playing today.
So is it Cholowski who's coming in?
Cholowski's coming in.
Yeah, so you're taking a guy who's in the AHL for the Islanders and putting him into the lineup, and he hasn't played terribly with the Devils, but again, you're just looking at the situation here. What do the Devils have to do to survive this? And can they survive these injuries? Like, is this going to be insurmountable at some point?
I mean, if I'm being honest, at some point it seems like it will reach that point, but I still think in terms of the first round against Carolina, they're very much in it. They would have to win today in front of their home crowd because you're not rattling off 2 in a row in Carolina. Right. That's just very, very hard. So, yeah, I would think that they absolutely have to win today. And then from there, they could luck into winning it in 6-7. I mean, we've seen much crazier things happen in hockey. It's unfortunate for them how depleted they are, but they certainly have that ability to just push forward and persevere. I mean, we saw last game. Yeah. They did it with 5D. Now they're going to have 6D. A guy like Cholowski obviously isn't going to get a lot of minutes, but he could kind of take a little bit of that load. Yeah. So you don't have guys playing almost 40 minutes in a double overtime game. So, yeah, I think just having that 6th guy, no matter who it is, to just throw out a couple shifts against Carolina's 4th lines, which, granted, are still good 4th lines. Yeah. They're a very deep team. But I still think that makes a big difference. If they did it with 5, they could do it with 5.5 or 6.
Do you agree with them going with Cholowski over Casey?
I do, and that's for 2 reasons. One, Cholowski has much more NHL experience. If you look at the underlying numbers, Casey you could argue, has been a bit lucky this season. He's going to be a great, great player in the league, don't get me wrong. But Cholowski has, I mean, he doesn't really have playoff experience, but he's been in the NHL. He's a bigger guy. Casey, we don't really know how his play is going to translate into that playoff-type game, which is completely different from regular season. I tweeted today, I think the Devils are getting outchanced by 30 when he's on the ice this season, yet he's a +4 because he has that shooting talent, and he's shown it in spurts, but that's not something you could exactly bank on come playoff time. Not going to get a lot of minutes either. I think Cholowski's the much safer bet for the Devils.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I was talking to a lot of people just online. You've seen how Twitter is, or X, whatever the hell we are. You've seen how the social media chatter is. Everybody wanted Casey, and I kind of just said, hey, every time that there was a guy missing, when Brett Pesce was missing in practice, when When Kovacevic was whenever anyone was missing from practice, they put Chalowski in there. So I was like, this isn't even worth the conversation at that point. But I agree with you. I think the thing with Casey is him and Nemitz at the start of the season had terrible underlying numbers. He was just scoring goals.
Yeah.
And sometimes that just happens. It just works out that way. But I agree with you. I think that Chalowski is the right choice, especially because you could just play him 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And just mix Nemitz with Pesci sometimes, mix Nemitz with Hamilton sometimes. You can kind of rotate him in and extra shift some of those veteran guys. And even if you put him with I think I went the wrong way. I meant to say Siegenthaler and some of the guys on the left, or Dumoulin. Some of the guys on the left, you could double shift him with those guys and get them some extra shifts, especially Dumoulin, because Dumoulin's one of the only guys.
Yeah.
When you're looking at this six defenseman, Dumoulin's the only guy that's not dealing with anything, right? Dougie just came back probably quicker than he needed to. Siegenthaler definitely came back quicker than he needed to. What do you think? Have you seen anything that says that they're playing injured? Because from my eye, they look like they're playing pretty well. But have you seen anything like that?
I mean, I feel like, and they've said it themselves, once you're out there, you forget about all that.
Okay.
Playoffs are just such a different intensity where they'll feel it right when the buzzer goes, but until then, they're just locked in and they're not really thinking about it. You look at a guy like Keith said last game, Brett Pesci is playing way less than 100%. You could see that, maybe not in his play, but just the amount of shots he's blocking, he's selling out, he is doing everything he can to get this team a series win against his former team.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't necessarily see it in his play, but these guys are hurting, and they're all icing up after. It's tough. That's playoff hockey, and they're not the only team going through it, but it seems like the Devils more than anyone else have really suffered with those injuries lately. And I mean, Carolina's a much healthier team, so it's unfortunate.
And we're going to let you go. I know you got to go. You got to do some pregame coverage. But last question before I ask for your prediction. Just what does it look like for the Devils to win this game? What does that game look like?
I think, first of all, to start, with the way the crowd's going to be, they absolutely have to be flying right off the bat. If they're not, Carolina's going to feed off that, and then maybe they dig too deep of a hole for themselves. But the biggest thing for me, this whole series has been special teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the Devils have now given up 3 power play goals, given up a shorthanded goal, and they have not scored a single power play goal. So, I mean, the fact that Carolina is that good of a team, even strength, the Devils kind of outplayed them in that regard last game, but that's very rare. And especially, even if the Devils do happen to win today, if they get back to Carolina, that's not going to serve them very well. You'd think they'd be due for some positive regression at some point. I mean, you could argue they were a better team, special teams-wise, than Carolina, and Carolina's completely had the upper hand there. So I would think that I think today is going to be the day that narrative starts to shift, and that would really favor the Devils, because if they could kind of just match them or even get a little outplayed at even strength, and again, Carolina not a great road team, the special teams are going to make up for that. I think they're getting at least 1 power play goal today. You could all make fun of me if that doesn't happen. But, I think the special teams narrative is 100% shifting.
So before you do your prediction, I want you to get your plugs in. What do you have on the Hockey Writers right now that people can read pregame, and what do you got coming up after the game? Barring, you don't know what the headlines are going to be, but where can everybody find you? What should they expect from your coverage?
You can find me on my Twitter, Daniel_Amoya, AMOIA. You'll have my link right there. Like you said, we don't know what storylines are going to come out of today, but I'm always doing the recaps, talking to players post-game, posting whatever good content comes out of that. I've done a few good breakdowns in my recent articles of this series and some of the underlying stuff and what the Devils can change to become a better team and propel themselves forward. Obviously, 2-0 hole isn't easy to climb out of, but they did it the last time they were in the playoffs, so no one's saying they can't do it again. So, always breaking stuff down there. Have a good time on Twitter, talking about Mrs. Fields and whatever. So,
you're the Mrs. Fields guy. You're half the reason why it was so popular.
Huge Mrs. Fields guy. Are you
Mr. Fields? I never met Mr. Fields.
I might be at this point.
Daniel, actually, I'll tell you the truth. I'm 2-0 with the cookie costume.
He's coming to the games in the cookie costume, so.
With the goal light helmet.
Do you have it in your possession?
Yeah, it's right here.
All right.
He might be the son of Fields. All right, so what's your prediction for the game?
Devils are getting a power play goal. They'll hold the Hurricanes to 1 even strength goal. I'll give the Devils a 3-1 win with an empty
Let's go,
netter.
baby, a 3-1 Devils victory. Everybody give it up. Woo! Daniel Amoya, thank you. TheHockeyWriters.com. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have you on again soon. Go enjoy the game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. 3-1 victory.
3-1. I like that. I like that a lot.
On the Jumbotron.
Yeah. I appreciate a 3-1 victory. It's a nice, solid victory. Nobody could complain about it. Nobody could complain about the refs or the calls or this or that. It's a nice, solid victory. No empty netters either. Let's get 3 solid goals, 1 each period. You know, I want a reason for the Devils fan base to just go through the roof. I want this to become a stadium and not an arena. I don't want a dome anymore. I want you to blow the roof off this place.
Absolutely. Look at the crowd.
It's bumping. It is bumping.
This is like Devils Rangers a couple of years ago in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Well, here's the thing, Sam, is I hate the Hurricanes too. I hate them.
Tell you what,
And look, there's no Hurricanes jerseys out here. This is better than Devils Rangers because the
I've said this all along. Raleigh, North Carolina is really south of Jersey.
yeah.
It's about 60% New Jersey.
Yeah.
That just moved down there. And they get away from taxes, get away from this, that, whatever.
Yeah, Raleigh's getting up there in taxes too, though. It's all relative.
It's overrated, okay?
Yeah.
I went there, and it's nothing. The pizza sucks.
Yeah.
As well. It's not like
Yeah, if you want good pizza, just go right next door or right next to us at American Whiskey. Get some good pizza over there.
in about a few minutes, we're going to have Arlette, national anthem.
Wow, okay. We love Arlette.
Some rolling guests coming in. Arlette's shorts guy. And we got shorts guy.
We got Shorts Guy. Let me just say one thing. Since we're here, since we're on air already, I got a hot mic, and I'll probably say something stupid, but I look at this game, Sam, as the pivot point. I think if the Devils win today, series over. I think they can win 4 in a row for the first time this season. I think this team can win 4 in a row. I think we're going to Raleigh. We're going to kick their – can I curse yet? They could kick their tuchus and send them packing, put their tails between their legs. I don't think this Carolina team is mentally tough. Because think about it. They played their best hockey when they were motivated because they were mad at Mikko Rantanen. That was when they played their best hockey, and that was a month ago. That momentum is gone. His team is not mentally tough. This is not a Rob Brindamore team that we were used to lose.
Anderson just had 2 lucky games.
He had 3, and he lost one of them. Like, he was still the save he made on Timo Meier on Friday might be the best save of the year. Like, it's up there. You know what I mean? Like, to be on your stomach.
Is this game on ESPN today?
TBS.
If you ask ESPN, they would say we'd be blown out 9-0.
Probably. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I feel like they only put PK Subban on ESPN to counteract all the Rangers fans. Steve Levy's a Rangers fan. Linda Cohen's a Rangers fan. Mark Messier is obviously a Rangers fan. You know, you're competing against guys who hate us. But, Sam, that's the beauty of this, right? It's New Jersey versus everybody all the time. And that includes the one team in sports that wears New Jersey proudly. That's why I love this team. This is the one team in sports that doesn't need to be New York, New Jersey. It doesn't have to pretend that it's playing in New York, like the team that just took Jackson Dart on Friday, or the team that took who do the Jets take? I don't know. Those 2 teams that play in MetLife pretending they're New York teams. They're New Jersey Giants and New Jersey Jets. Nope. Only the New Jersey Devils proudly represent the state. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Well, mine's on this side. That's why I'm looking.
The last time we were away in the elements was actually the outdoor game. And what happened then? When we did our 4 or 5 hour podcast in the middle park. The Devils won.
Listen, I said then, that day I was wearing black because I was going to a Flyers funeral. Today, I got black on my jersey. We're going to a Carolina Hurricanes funeral. Let's bury them today. Let's just end. I want them to feel so demoralized.
Let's take the Carolina Hurricanes behind the barn and put it down.
Listen, this team is getting older. Old yeller their behinds. Like, we're done with this. Like, this is a pretend rivalry. We're on the up. And listen, they got some good players. I really like Stankoven. He played really well in Game 1. But truthfully, this is just Freddie Anderson. And that's the deal. Listen, give them some credit.
For the most part, has shut down Sebastian Aho.
Yeah.
He's a non-factor except for one goal.
They paired him with Nico a lot last game. That was the thing, Bratt. They paired him. Bratt was facing the Slavin line a lot last game and dominated. They got a ton of chances. They got a ton of shots off, a ton of shot attempts. They were killing it. And when you're looking at this guy who's probably, you saw, the guys who watched the Four Nations tournament, Slavin was by far the best defensive defenseman in that entire tournament.
Yep.
And just a great all-around defenseman. When you get a guy like Bratt, you're talking about a team that's missing Jack Hughes. Like, this seems preposterous that we're having this conversation with Jack Hughes not in the lineup. But Jesper Bratt has stepped up. Nico Hischier stepped up immensely. Like, he's really taking on that role of the star player and let Jesper Bratt just keep doing what he's been doing all season. And then you're getting more offense from the defense, right? You're getting Dougie Hamilton's really starting to jump up.
Yep.
You're getting, before he got hurt, Luke Hughes was really jumping up. Now you're getting Simon Nemeth, who's jumping up into the offense. It's what you need, right? Because, you're not going to get a ton from the bottom six. That second line is what it is, right?
Yep.
It has a ceiling. But the defense is where you can make offense happen, and they've done a better job of that.
Absolutely. Shorts guy, how are you doing? You doing good? All right. He's drinking some Ann Kruber right now?
Sure.
Yeah, all right. Sure. Ann Kruber, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time.
Here's where we can take a break and wait for our lap. But here's where I am.
So should we do a live look-in?
Yeah, let's do a live look-in. And we're not ready for predictions, but my prediction as far as gameplay is what Daniel said. I have a lot of people in my mentions saying this team isn't tough, this team isn't physical, this team isn't hitting, it's not winning board battles, and you're just not watching the game if you think that.
Yep.
Truthfully, the Games 1 and Games 2, they had the number 1 and number 3 all-time hits in Devils franchise history going back to 2006. The data doesn't go past that. So I'm sure there's some games in the 90s that were more than that. But as far as post-lockout, the Devils have never hit as much as they did in Games 1 and Game 2. It was a similar situation in Game 3. They're breaking up pucks, and I think they did a better job in Game 3. I think that's why they got the 2 goals instead of the 1, is you're causing turnovers, you're knocking people out. Cody Glass played really well with that, causing turnovers, knocking people out. Dawson Mercer's winning board battles, which is exactly what you need. You need Dawson Mercer to win board battles.
Yep.
If you're going to win this game. It's like the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest connection. But Dawson Mercer winning board battles and using that tenacity on the second line to get them the puck is everything you need. So that's my prediction. I think that the physicality is going to completely impact this game, and I think that that's exactly what the Devils need to win. They need to out-physical them, just like they have been.
Yep.
Just cause turnovers, cause chaos.
Go hard to the net.
This team has
Get chippy
this team has been the
and
same
play
since
with
the
an
Storm
edge.
Surge.
It's very
This team
simple.
is nothing without the Storm Surge. You ain't nothing. So that's what I'm thinking.
All right. We're just going to go live look in. So to
We'll be
our
back.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitch audience, we'll be back. I'll leave this mic open. What's up?
At the exact moment you called me, I was trying to download my ticket.
Oh.
I usually wait 5 minutes after it starts. live streaming. I've looked at it. I just started the music. I'm using your old mix. I found it.
I did not get to finish that shit at all.
It's alright.
I'm not so bad. Faith is like, hey, is that mix done? Hey!
Probably want to get a video of this.
Yo, can you grab that picture for me down there?
no internet. It's not going out.
Guys, the stream stopped?
Your internet's not going out. That's what we're using.
Can you hear the music?
there's no sound apparently going out.
It's done on purpose.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's shut us down.
Ah. You guys get tickets yet or no?
Not yet. Too early. You might remove all the beers from here.
What's up?
Remove all the beers. I'm going to end it with this song.
Alright.
Yeah, come on, fellas.
That guy's moving.
Thank you. What's up? Yeah.
Want to switch it back over to the other one? We're about to shut